now. Hey, what's up out there? It's Dave Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become like you right there looking back at me. I got somebody with me. Today I have Mr. Matt, right? It's Matt, right?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Matt, how you doing? We're doing another agent consultation where I sit and answer questions that agents like Matt have. I love doing these. These are a lot of fun because I actually get to listen to what you have to say and what your questions are, as opposed to me droning on for 40 minutes about some inane topic about sales. So with all that said, I'm going to turn the mic over to Matt and let you ask away, see what I can do to help.
Well, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate you letting me come on the air here to answer my question. My question is, I live in a very remote area, and it's in New York, so the IMO I'm with won't even do the mail leads because the response rate is so low. I mail out, when I do 1,000 leads, I get back 9 to 19. It cost me $440 for leads, but just went up to $450.
Okay.
I can write 1 to 3 policies out of that. So basically the mail drop cost me $440. My lead price cost me $35. And I'm still new. I just in the first year. So my policy cost just what it cost me to get the lead per policy is $218. Now that alone is not the problem. The real problem is I'm in a remote area. So the way I'm doing leads now through the mail is I'll get one in Watertown that's an hour from me, and then I'll get the next one that's over towards Tupper Lake, which is an hour from that. And I've tried sitting on them to get groups in an area, and if you sit on them, you might as well just burn them.
Somebody else is going to get to them. I assume that's what you mean.
Or they just get cold. I mean, when people want to buy something, they want to buy it now, and if you let them sit for 2 or 3 weeks, by the time you come back, they've changed their mind.
So you're like way upper state, right? You're like close to the...
I'm on the Canadian border.
Yeah.
My last house, I used to look out at Prescott, Canada.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So where is that? So you're like Clayton area? I'm looking on a map here.
Yep. I'm northeast of that.
Oh, wow. Even more like Alexandria Bay, that kind of thing. Okay.
Northeast of that. Augsburg City. It was bigger than New York City when it was first started.
Is that right? Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm just trying to visualize how remote is, and that part of New York is not.
I even did a phone drop once, and they came to about $11 a lead.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I had was being that I'm part-time right now, transferring over. I've only been a couple months. That I get so many that came through. That by the time I got it, they're already tough leads. And if you let them sit a week or something, they really are dead.
Right. So let me ask you a question in response so I can make sure I fully understand what your concern is. Is it that you mentioned a couple of things, but I guess when you say remote, is that a problem for you to get enough leads in? Is that what you're saying? Or
well, the problem is the leads I do get, the distance between them.
Okay.
So either I need to go to a more dense area to learn how to do that. You can't do phone calls in New York. So either I've got to go to a more dense area or figure out a way to get clusters of leads, not leads that are 100 miles between each other.
And in what you're saying, so the audience understands, phone sales in New York State is the thing that you can't do. Is that what you're saying?
No, you have to have a wet signature.
Yes. So, okay. What does the lead say that you're using?
It's a pretty standard one that promises them the memorial guide. I don't have that right here with me, but it's a standard company. I don't know if I can say it over the air, the company I'm using. So.
You can or can't, it doesn't matter. Okay, but as far as the lead goes, does it say life insurance?
It does in it, yes.
Okay. So a couple of ideas to increase response rate. That's really what we want, because and you tell me, I mean, if we could take your response rate from, you're saying it's 1.1 to 1.9% or 11 to 19 leads on average?
Out of 1,000, I'll get 9 to 19.
9 to 19, okay. So you're probably averaging, depending on the area, 14 to 15. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So one way so let me rephrase myself. what if we were to get in the same general area you're working, like 20 to 25 leads back per thousand? Would that make a difference?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one idea here is to loosen up on what the specificity on the leads. This is not something I generally recommend. You have a unique problem in the sense that there perhaps is too little people to see. That's usually not the case anywhere other than the most remote area. Like if you're in Wyoming, it's kind of the same deal. So here's what I mean. There's two pieces you can use, or even in combination, to where if you use them, more people will inquire. The downside is that you reduce the potential quality, and this is arguable amongst agents, so it's not set in stone. But this is what it looks like. There's a card called, I call it the vanilla card. It says nothing about life insurance. It basically reads, and I can give you a referral to a company that can do this. It says, you may qualify for a state-regulated program to pay for your final expenses, even if you've been turned down before. The next line reads, it's important to know how to qualify for this benefit, blah, 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 blah. So those two lines are kind of the money lines, right? And there's no mention of life insurance, okay? And what that will do is elevate your response rates from 1.5% probably to 2 to 2.5%. But what you'll get in exchange, and this is what you have to really do this to figure out if it's right for you, because it's hard to just sit here and project, yes, this is going to work, yes, it's not. But what you get are people who are confused sometimes and think, is this some free government program? Because there's nothing that it says about life insurance. So they're genuinely confused to some extent. But I know lots of agents that use this card and swear by it, and they write plenty of business off of it because it gets them into more doors of people who may already have life insurance, but now you can replace it and get a better deal. So there's kind of an exchange here that really I think for you would be worth trying given the market you're in. Now, do you guys have Walmarts up there? Sure.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I like a bribe card. That's the second option. A bribe card essentially says it can say life insurance. Sometimes it can't, but the bribe on it is send this card back and get a $5, or it says just a gift card to Walmart. The price is undisclosed as far as the amount. I always just gave him $5. All right. It buys him a pack of smokes or, natural ice. It does the job. So, but obviously people are going to be enticed by a bribe. So that's going to increase your response rates. And
yeah, I've noticed even this one, it puts the memorial book on it, and they do respond directly just because it has a memorial book on it.
Yes.
So
that's the same mentality or psychology at work here. It would be interesting to compare that to the Walmart card. I would imagine you would get an even higher response rate. Yeah. I would get in places in Tennessee where I would maybe only get 9 or 10 back. I would get 15 or 16 back. So I had a sizable increase. And for me, the lead worked just as well. A lot of people didn't think it worked well. It wasn't any good, that there's a bunch of deadbeats looking for free stuff. But I didn't find that. Again, your mileage may vary. And this is another strategy you can utilize. And you'll find a lot more people will respond, and you can work more people in kind of a consolidated area. The last thing I would look at would be some sort of Facebook lead campaign. Have you ever tried Facebook leads before?
I have unsuccessfully tried it.
Okay.
I put it out there and have gotten no responses back.
Oh, so you tried your own self-generated campaign?
Yeah, I did it on my own. Yeah.
Okay. So I can refer you to a vendor that will just charge you $15 lead. I can email the vendor off camera. If you're watching this, by the way, guys, you're curious, just send me a message and I'll share it with you. No secrets. I don't mind doing that. But they'll want you to work a 30-mile radius around whatever center point that you choose. I'm sure you wouldn't get anything in Canada, if you had to work sort of out of there. But you get the leads for $15 a pop. And one strategy you may want to impose is doing both direct mail and then running a Facebook lead in combination. It's very unlikely that you're going to get the same responders meaning I don't think somebody's going to fill out a Facebook form and send a card back. It's not impossible. I've certainly had people who have done the same thing duplicate times, but it's very, very rare. Again, you're in a situation because of sparsity of population where having multiple lead campaigns might be a good idea to just increase the overall count.
Yeah, because that's why this last 2 weeks ago, I just added Medigap because I've had a couple of them that thought that that's what it was. So that generic one.
So sell
I
it.
do want to get that link from you.
Yes. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I don't think like, okay, what's another answer? Go down to Syracuse, right? Sell in Syracuse or, Rochester, probably a little bit further, but go to a larger population base. Here's why I don't like that. The reason I don't like that is because that's what every other agent does. Most agents, and this is where your advantage is, most agents aren't going to drive 2-3 hours north towards the border and sell these small little towns with the people in them because it's just too far.
Yeah, I've only come across 2 others that are driving north to sell in this area.
Yeah, it's very rare because it's a grind and it's windshield time and most agents are lazy, but that's your advantage because the people you're probably seeing are more easily approachable. They probably fit the profile better of who is a good final expense buyer, and you're obviously seeing that they want other help with things like Medicare and supplements and that kind of thing. I mean, to me, it's a winning proposition. You should stay where you're at. I would if I were you, and just figure out how to amp up the lead flow with one of the 3 options or all of them. You can find, you can get results using one of those much better and start seeing more people because that's a good area where you're at because you get a very little competition. Very few people see agents mosey around up there. And I mean, it's just, I love it. I mean, that's what I would, if you're working with me, I'd do whatever I could to keep you exactly where you're at.
I appreciate it. So that's why I definitely do want to get that other company you have because the one I am with right now, there you have set form letters. I was only able to get them to make one change because it actually violated New York law. So it's like, you can't mail this letter to New York.
Right. Which one was it? Just out of curiosity. Do you remember?
Is it MS Power? I think it is.
Yeah, MS Power Mail is the company. Do you know the lead they used?
What's that?
Do you know what lead they used by chance?
It's a Final Express lead. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, okay. You just don't know what. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. If I was in my office, I got it on the computer. I could pull it up, but I don't have it here.
Your email is bym.life.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Don't give me the rest of it, but I'll send this to you right now. Link for Facebook leads. Just go here when you get a second. Send in the order. The only reason I'm not saying this live on camera is because this stuff will be archived for years. And this vendor, they do a great job now, but things may change. And, I used to sell avatar leads and I still got videos talking about avatar leads and they've been illegal for almost 2 years. I'm like, I don't do them anymore kind of thing. So anyways, but go there. I would look at them. They do a really good job. So far, I've really liked what I've seen. And I'm not a big Facebook guy, as you know. So, but I think something like that would be good. What other questions you got for me?
That was the big one as far as, and you kind of said that you didn't like the idea was moving into targeting other areas. So.
No, I beg agents to leave the city to go where you're already at all the time. Okay. I had an agent outside of Chicago who said, should I drive into Chicago? I said, no, man. First of all, traffic. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's enough reason not to. But second of all, if you just go south an hour or west an hour, you're in the middle of nowhere. And those people never see agents. And usually rural communities, as you know, their income average is much less than suburbia or in the city. And so they need this stuff more. And I just think that kind of group is more of a buyer more often than not. So, and they're easier to work. There's so many advantages that you want to figure out how to stay more busy with those people than try to get into a more competitive environment.
Okay. And I believe that because I've done door knocking and much friendlier this area than when I've helped friends down in the cities do it. So
yeah.
Much more receptive.
The key is survival in this business. And we want to use every advantage to our disposal. And that includes working friendly people who are approachable and making this hard job as comfortable, I guess, as possible.
Now, I will tell anyone else that's listening, when I first started, I read your books. You've done a great job. That's a great starting place. That's
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the plug.
That's why I appreciate actually you talking to me right now too. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I could help. Very good. Anything else, Matt?
You know, I thought that was going to take the whole time, and probably as soon as I say goodbye, I'll think of 25 things I should ask you.
I'm going to keep doing these recordings. I really like them. They've been well received. The audience likes them because many of the times you have the same question that the audience does. And, you know, it's nice for a newer agent to see, hey, this person's having the same questions or struggles as I am. And I'm giving them an answer that applies to them too. So it's good content. I think it reaches a lot of people. And there are people who are in your circumstance that kind of wonder, what are you going to do? You know, and I think this is a good reminder of, you know, play to your strengths. You're in a good area. Keep doing what you're doing, change it up a little bit, test some ideas out, see what works best, and just keep doing what you're doing and do more of it, which you should be able to.
Because I looked to expand into mortgage protection, but in New York State, where you can't do an e-app, it's a book the applications are. So
yeah. Well, and the other problem you have too, and this is where mortgage protection is different. You actually want to work populated areas because the whole impetus of a mortgage protection policy is based off of new mortgage closings, and the response rates on those are like 1% to 1.5%. So you have to have 1,000 new home closings each week to maybe get 10 or 15 leads. So if you're using a lead-based system, you have to work a population base. You have to work Boston. You have to work the boroughs. You know, you've got to work Long Island. You know, because that's the only way to stay busy enough. But working out in the middle of nowhere, forget about it. The best thing you can do there is cold call. You know, just stop in and talk to them, you know, face to face at the door.
Yeah, because your ideal also of doing the presentations, a group, I got the same problem. I'd have to go down to Syracuse or someplace because there are old age places here, but they're so low populous. They're 12 housing units.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's really your setup's ideal. I mean, there's enough older people. Probably these rural areas skew older anyway relative to the more suburban counties.
Yeah, because most of their children have all gone south to where there's real work.
Exactly.
Very few of these have their grandchildren near them.
Right. So. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, it's a good market, but you know, even if it's a small county, and this is what I would tell agents watching this too, thinking about working smaller counties, there's going to be enough activity there to do something. It may only be 20, 25 leads per county if it's very rural, but that's good. My best results have always been from, you know, kind of the same stuff that you're working. It's just for all the reasons I already mentioned.
Yeah. And it sounds true too, because as I've been going, the policy amounts have been going up too. So that's kind of offsets it too. When we first started, it was it was tough to get someone to pay $25 a month.
Right. Well, you're getting better. You're understanding the process better, and your numbers are good. I mean, you know, when you say 1 to 3, I just think 2. If you're selling 2 out of 10 leads, that's good enough. I'd like it to be 25% of your leads, but 2 is sustainable. At that point, it's just about getting what we're talking about now is getting more leads in and doing more activity. And as long as you keep those numbers, your net income goes up in return.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Matt, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video where I talk with a fellow agent, Matt, about learning how to scale up his lead activity and get some better results and staying more consolidated in a rural area. I do all sorts of conversations like this with agents and any other questions. We've had conversations about going from part-time to full-time, utilizing seminar marketing, how to get started in the business, pretty much everything and anything. And if you'd like to look into this, please feel free to contact me. We can set up a time to do one of these as long as you're willing to let me record it, just like Matt did today. And in exchange, you get some good value, custom tailored to you, and I get a video out of it. So my name is David Duford. You can contact me, go there, davidduford.com, click the contact button, learn more. And if you're interested in selling final expense, mortgage protection, Medicare supplements or annuities, you can go to daviddufour.com and click the link at the top that says join David's agency. And Matt, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you very much, Dave.
All right. Best of luck out in the field today, Matt. Take care, man.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.